Hi, everybody. What's up? I'm DJ Sixsmith. You're watching The Sit Down. Yolanda Ross is back with us. The Shy Season 3. It's been a fun one so far. How are you?
I'm great. As I said before, a little hot, but good.
Yeah, a lot going on these days. It's hot out there. Coronavirus is swirling around, but we got the Shy. I mean, that's the good news in this situation. And people have been really enjoying it. So what's this whole run been like for you? Because I think we talked probably in Season 2, I would say.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a great success for you, but now looking back at it, what has been the best part so far?
I'm really excited about the new energy this year. I just feel like, a lot's happened since last year, and I feel like we hit the ground running. I like where the show is going. I like that the characters are kind of getting into each other's storylines. With all the craziness that's going on right now in our world, I'm glad that we are a part of people's lives every Sunday, that they have something to look forward to. It's a heavy storyline that's going on right now, but I think it's a great show to check in on every week.
I think that's one of the really interesting things about it is that obviously the storyline with Keisha is really heavy this year, but then you also have the presence of all these new characters. Even with Jada, we see like her storyline develop. So clearly for the audience, there's a lot going on. What was it like for you and the rest of the castmates to kind of parse through all these different layers?
Like I said, I think it was exciting for all of us because just like you said, new characters coming in, that means storylines can develop, new things can come up with people's storylines. And it's just a lot of growth overall for the show. We had Lena on the show this year as well, which, it was all a lot of fun.
Yeah, you forget that Lena has some pretty good acting chops, right?
Right? As mayor, possible mayor.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was nice seeing her in there too. How about for Jada? I mean, as a character, it's like first season, Emmett's mom, like focused on work. Season 2, Ronnie gets in the mix. And now season 3, it's like, feels like she's
There's a lot of people in the mix, huh?
Yeah. But that's a part of the journey. It's like, you raise a kid, you're trying to figure out who you are. What's it been like growing out that character for 3 seasons?
Well, it's exactly what you just said. You have a child, your whole world becomes that child. And then when the child leaves the nest and you feel they're okay, it's now you have to learn yourself, She had him young and she's still a young woman herself, but there's so much that she has not been able to experience, she's not allowed herself to experience. So, I feel just like Emmett's going out into the world in one way, she is, Jada is too. And it's a new world as far as dating and everything else.
Yeah, you're going to try some things. There are going to be some dates that are failures, but you know what? Maybe some things will work out down the road. And also you have to be able to say no to your kid. Like that's the thing that a lot of parents don't know how to do. It's like your kid wants to come back home. And it's like, oh, yeah, sure, you can stay here. But it's like, no, I need to get on with my life. I think that was a really important part of the storyline, too.
Yeah. And, and he did that a little bit. And now he's back home with a full family in her living room. So, I don't know how long that's going to last. But it's a give and take. And it's one of those things that it's never this way or that way. Life is, a fluctuating thing that you can't say it's only one way.
I think the other unique thing about the show is like there's great characters and actors like you, but then the kids also, they are just great all the time. And like even this season, like, these kids that were like 13, 14, 15, now they're starting to become a little bit more adult. Like I'm pretty blown away by the performances. What was it like for you watching these kids grow up before your eyes?
It's crazy, because it's like from season to season, they seem to sprout up even more. And we just had on BET, they ran the first 2 seasons like a marathon. So to see them, to actually see the growth in the kids is kind of bananas because they were little kids and now they're teenagers, some of them bigger than us, so it's just like they're growing up as young men in front of us and with us. And, it's a cool show because we have, different age ranges on the show. So it is really like a family, and seeing like you say your little cousins or whatever growing up is what it feels like. I love seeing them. I love seeing the dynamic amongst them, and I love seeing, you know, the new actors like the girl who plays Gemma, you know, and you know, seeing Genesis. They just, you know, it's like seeing young people like getting into their worlds without the I guess, you know, how it is when adults get into a world and the kids are aware of you, but we get to like watch them without, you know, almost like voyeurs. So we see how they really act when we're not around. I enjoy it a lot.
It's been cool. It's been really cool to watch, no question about it. And you know, when you think about this show, what else are some of your favorite parts that we don't talk about enough? Because it gives the city of Chicago a new light. It goes into all these personal storylines. But what are the other things that are really important to you that maybe don't get the same amount of shine in other places?
Wait, so are you saying other parts of Chicago that don't get shine,
No,
or
I
you
would
saying?
say the shy in general. It's like we focus on the storyline with Chicago, we focus
Mhm.
on what's going on with kids, what's going on with the adults, but what are the other elements of the show that deserve a little bit more conversation when we talk about the show?
Well, you know, being playing one of the women characters, you know, adult women characters on the show, I do feel like just single black women
Hmm.
in neighborhoods, in the world. I feel that's a subject in itself, you know, what we do, how we maintain neighborhoods, how we kind of keep things a lot of times economically going, you know, as far as a lot of times we are small business owners, we are the backbones of neighborhoods, we are neighborhood watches, you know, just like with the Tracy character
Hmm.
and that mother's group. That's a very real thing, you know. It takes a lot of times black women to push to make something move, you know. We can see that, you know, in government right now, you know, with Biden possibly
Yeah.
choosing a black woman as vice president. So I'm just saying, we are the backbone of America.
It's a great point, and Black women have been long overshadowed. And even with the social justice movement going on right now, just say her name. Like that is such a
Hmm.
simple thing, but so important. And to have this show going on with that right now, it just feels like it all connects together at a really important time.
Yeah, you know, and you know, in our storyline right now, it's the Black women's group that's helping to find Keisha. You know, when cops aren't really looking for us, when you know, news isn't, you know, talking about us, it's us, you know, helping us.
And that's a great point too, because eventually, like the energy does die down. Like all these people get involved, then it's left to the family, it's left to the friends, and
Hmm.
people forget. And it's the same sort of thing here. I mean, even in the first few months of being quarantined, we're talking about George Floyd, we're talking about Black Lives Matter, and the energy has kind of simmered off a little bit. But now there are those people that are trying to keep it back up, and certainly ties in with the show here too. So, what's it like to just see all these different parts connecting, and also realize like we have to keep the conversation going about all this stuff?
It makes me be proud of the show, you know, and to be a part of the show because we are part of the conversation. We are doing our part to keep the conversation alive. It's just like you said, you know, say her name, remember her name, Breonna Taylor, that kind of thing. It's like we have to take it upon ourselves to make sure that we stay being heard at all times.
There's a power in that. And I think Lena Waithe has created a really powerful and empowering world. You've obviously gotten to work with her as a creator. You see her in the show as an actor. What is the best thing that she brings to the table with this series?
A a voice for Black people.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's something that had been lacking in Hollywood for a really long time. And she's doing it with the 20s too on BET. It's
Hmm.
like that's a time in our lives where we focus on white characters and white men. And we, again, don't focus on Black women, but that
Yeah,
crossover
no, we
needs to
very
happen.
much don't. We very much don't. We don't focus on Black women at any age, you
Yeah.
know, any age group. So, yeah, I feel with her shows, she does push the envelope with, you know, of having a voice for Black women, Black people, a truthful voice,
Mhm.
which, you know, that in itself is a different thing a lot of times.
An authentic voice too, because you've been in this game long enough where it's been white people telling stories of Black people, and it hasn't been that person who's actually lived that experience, and that makes a huge difference. And that's the reason why this show is so great, because
Yeah.
it's people who've actually lived it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very true. Having, someone else write your story, and, not being able or not having the opportunity to write your own story because it's not seemed as valued when it's coming through you. It makes no sense. So I hope that this business, the business of entertainment, does change that.
Well, I think this show has certainly changed that in a lot of ways, and I'm pretty excited to see what happens with the rest of the season. So, without giving anything away, what else can we expect from Jada, and what else can we just see coming along here in season 3?
Um, hopefully some lighter situations. A resolution,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, and some surprises. There's definitely surprises left.
All right. Those are two
Yeah,
pretty
tune
big
in.
things. I like it. Yolanda, thanks so much. Great talking to you.
Thank
Be
you.
safe. We'll talk to you down the road, all right?
All right, later.